Just Say No Leader Fan Radio Network, and KFAN.com. 2 minutes and 10 seconds past the hour, 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Welcome back. It is a midweek edition of the Bumper to Bumper Afternoon Aardvark on a rather warm Wednesday afternoon here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Louis Park. My name is Dan Barreiro. I host the program. Guardsy produces the show. And we are delighted that you are along for today's, I think it's going to be a pretty smooth ride today. Yesterday, bumpy. Today, I think smoother. I don't even know why I feel that way. It's just gut instinct. You get these things. You learn over the decades to have a pretty good feel for what might be coming. Today, I think it might be pretty smooth. But sometimes there's turbulence. You know how the pilot comes on early, or when he says, I'm going to take, the fasten your seatbelt sign off, but I will remind you, we're at a comfortable cruising altitude, but I will remind you, be prepared. We may hit some bumpy air, and if you want to have, your belt loosely around you, that's okay too. We might hit some turbulence. I can't. Well, as Nicolas Cage says in The Weatherman, it's one of our opens. We haven't played it in a while. It's wind. It's wind. It just blows all over the place. That's what weather is. And when the wind blows in the wrong direction or in multi-directions, sometimes you can get turbulence, correct? And up in the air at 35, even at 35,000 feet. In
the case of the show, one text can change everything.
That's also true.
To the Bradshaw and Bryan KFAN text line 64686. One text
true as well, yes.
Can be the wind changing or a pocket of air up 35,000 feet. It can change everything.
Great Wall in St. Paul. Pucks hit. They fall. No goals. None at all. Stars shoot. They stall brick by brick. Big wall. Crowd loud. They call. Wild and Five. That's kind of a variation on the theme.
Yeah. We'll take it, though, 4 minutes in.
Bradshaw and Bryan KFAN text line. It's already hopping. 64686 if you'd like to be a part of the festivities. It is officially Wexler Wednesday. Marty Wexler III is scheduled to join us at the bottom of this hour. We're very much looking forward to the visit because it's the only visit we get a year now. We are down to one Wexler visit a year. And even that I don't take for granted any longer. So he will join at 3:30, the official draft guide of the Bumper to Bumper program going back, I want to say, at least 15 years.
It predates me.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
It predates me, and I'm on 17 years now.
It's got to be 20, maybe 22, a little longer than that. And there's no guest, I think, over the years that has ruffled more feathers. And you want to talk about turbulence? It can get turbulent with him. But I don't think it's because he's trying. I don't think he's a shock jock. I think he just does his job, and sometimes people are not ready for some of his draft evaluations and some of the tests that he's involved in as well. So that will be at the bottom of the 3 o'clock hour. Not to mention Alec Lewis at 4:02. Russo Radio, 5:02. Wild, of course, back home in action tonight on the flagship. Game number 3 against the Dallas Stars. And we'll get to injury updates with Russo and goalie situations and who knows what else before we wrap things up. The countdown to the draft is on. 27 hours, 55 minutes, and 42, 41, 39, 38 seconds. ESPN put their countdown to the draft ticker up, I believe, a week ago Monday.
I don't think you're far off.
And who can blame them?
Yeah.
I can mock it, but the fact is it's remarkably big business. Speaking of big business, is it possible? Do we have the cojones to just say no? When I say that expression, repeat it, just say no, what do you think of? The old-fashioned anti-drug message that was sent once upon a time?
That is exactly what I think of.
That's what I think of, too. Yep. I don't think it's current. I don't even know. Does anybody even try just say no any longer? Have we given up on that concept? Is it considered too cliched? Or do we now say, go ahead?
For the drugs,
just
you mean?
Do it in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what are the catchphrase messages when it comes to the use of drugs.
Smoke them if you got them, I think.
That's a long way from just say no.
Now it's not as bad as alcohol, and that's legal.
Yeah.
It's not as catchy.
There is a lot of that, too, isn't there? No, the just say no I am suggesting, and I know this might be turbulent or cause some turbulence and might be controversial. My just say no on the eve of the National Football League draft is just say no to us groveling to host this bloated, overcooked, not all that economically major when it comes to the towns it goes to event. I'm here to tell you, and I know it's probably too late because I think we've already made our bid. I don't know when we'll find out. I think Seifert told me we were bidding for 2028. I don't know if 27 is already determined. I'm not sure. Somebody out there will know. I'm just going to read you a couple things. This is under the headline, Pittsburgh's Draft Debacle. Pittsburgh is hosting the draft in coming days, starting tomorrow, obviously.
Washington, D.C. has already been awarded next year's draft.
So we are shooting for 28.
Correct.
Which means to me, we still might have the ability, if we show some common sense, to not messing with this nonsense, not lowering ourselves to once again trying to get the gratification that we're hosting the National Football League draft. We don't need it. We really don't. Here's the headline. Pittsburgh's draft debacle. If you believe the NFL and local authorities, hordes of football fans are about to descend on Pittsburgh from all over the country to spend gobs of money watching the NFL draft in person, forever altering the region's economy for the better. This is via reason.com.
Forever altering the region's economy for the better. Forever.
Forever.
Wow.
As many as 700,000 fans might attend, they say, with the expected economic impact well within the range of $120 million to upwards of, to upwards of, that doesn't make, of $213 million. The range, $120 million to $213 million. Don't worry, the draft will also result in 500 new trees planted in Allegheny County, plus 400 hanging flower baskets and 420 yellow and black planters installed downtown. That's it must be some kind of an inside joke I don't know about. If you really think all that is going to happen, then spending a measly $19 million in taxpayer dollars to bring the draft to town seems well worth it. Pennsylvania is spending about $13 million of that, with the rest coming from county and city sources, mostly flowing to Pittsburgh's tourism nonprofit called Visit Pittsburgh, which has vaguely said it is spending $16 million on essential services, according to local reporting. The problem is that most draft attendees are not traveling from the farthest corners of the country. It's mostly locals and day trippers. The total attendance numbers and economic projections are overly rosy, too. And once you realize that, the whole facade of the draft is an economic engine worth public subsidies starts to fall. The overwhelming majority of visitors are local residents. According to an economist named Frank Stevenson, the net gain in room rentals in the 2019 to 24 host cities varies greatly from a decrease of nearly 20,000 room nights in Vegas to an increase of about 9,000 room nights in Nashville. But in all cases, it's a small fraction of the claimed number of people attending draft-related events. How about the $19 million in taxpayer spending? That's just about the floor, they say. Pennsylvania State Police said they, too, are coordinating security planning, traffic tactics, risk assessments, and interagency exercises while declining to provide an estimated cost for the work. So now you got law enforcement wasting their time with this nonsense because they kind of have to if you're going to have that many chumbalones coming into town, correct?
Yep.
But it goes on from there. They do eventually get to the city's public schools switching to remote learning from Wednesday, so that started today, through Friday because of the draft, even though the draft doesn't start until late Thursday night. So overall, Pittsburgh hosting the draft is costing tens of millions of taxpayer dollars, likely won't meet its overly optimistic attendance and economic impact projections, involves spending a secret amount of money on security, takes up hours and hours of law enforcement and city government staff time, and also keeps kids out of schools for 3 days. But hey, at least Pittsburgh is going to get some new trees and flowers out of the whole deal.
That's a writer after your own heart, by the way.
Reason.com guy's there.
With the sarcasm.
That's true. He's 100%. Again, I know we beat our chests like, well, that makes us feel vital and it makes us feel connected and you like us. You really like us. and I doubt that the Wilfs are listening to this, and probably we've already made our bid, and we've already, I don't even know how much money is committed to this nonsense. And I get the fact that the event itself is large. That's undeniable. But that doesn't mean we need to participate in it. It doesn't mean we have to lower ourselves to this nonsense into thinking that, and because here's another thing that happens every year. Whatever number of people show up, the estimates are always 5 to 10 times larger. And there's no way to really check them because everybody's in on the conspiracy. It's viewed as the kind of distortion in which nobody really gets hurt, right? But you want to feel like, wow, next 3 days, we're watching a massive event. Look at all the people there for this thing. So no one is going to be skeptical because the feeling is it's not worth being skeptical on it. And we all want to act like we're participating in confirmation of the bigness of this event. We already know the National Football League is big. That doesn't mean we have to raise our hands for this nonsense. We've done it for Super Bowls. I get it. Although I don't know if we're ever going to get another one.
Not with this attitude.
That's true. But that at least is a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we can even argue about how far you go there and what you give up and what you hand to the authorities. Because that's the beauty of it for the NFL is the obvious, right? They've got, they know how big they are, and they know that, okay, Minneapolis, you can withdraw your interest.
Right. On to the next.
We don't care.
Right.
There's 5 other cities just clamoring.
Tripping all over each other.
That just want to please us. Whatever needs to be done to please us. We're used to being pleased and used to, frankly, getting whatever we want in terms of security in any terms that are out there. So it's my last plea. It'll probably go on, what's the expression, deaf ears? I don't think anybody will pay attention. Fall on deaf ears. But that's part of our job, is to every once in a while try to raise the flag of decency and discipline. And saying just because other cities lower themselves to this nonsense, it doesn't mean we have to do it as well.
I'm looking forward to, I don't know what the date would be, April 24th maybe?
When it's announced that we got it?
No, when it's night 1 of the draft and the Marvin Gaye song comes on and we hear, this is your, you like us, you really like us, nobody does the draft better than us leader, the fan, when we're on location right in front of the Vikings ship.
But
at the People's Stadium.
Let's be clear. If it ends up here, it won't be as good as it was in Green Bay. Green Bay is the new benchmark. That's what everybody says. Objective observers say, so that's another reason I don't want to compete. Do we want to compete with Green Bay? They got nothing else. We're supposed to have so much more than to be reduced to this stereotype that, we've got whatever it takes. Not to get the game, the Super Bowl, but to get the NFL draft. An event that once upon a time was just static. You had...
I went to it one year at the Marriott Marquis.
Exactly. And you got some ballrooms and you got some, wherever well, I guess now the teams are back in their own locations these days.
Yep. I stumbled upon it. I just stumbled upon it in April of whatever year Robert Smith was drafted because we were in New York for a family trip. Oh, good for us. And I just popped my head in and, hey, the NFL draft is here. Waited around for the Vikings to take Robert Smith and walked out. That was it.
Did Green Bay do better than Indianapolis at its best?
Well, that's a stupid question.
I don't know.
That's a dumb question.
I was told Green Bay's at the top of this. This is the only thing Indianapolis has gotten beaten on.
Has Indy had the draft? I don't even remember if Indy's had the draft.
That's a really good question.
If they haven't, it's a huge oversight by the National Football League.
No doubt about that.
Should we give away some money?
Let's do it.
FanandBigDeck.com. Want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks. It is our national cash contest. The keyword, first one, is media. Go to KFAN.com. Make the keyword media. The NFL draft starts tomorrow, but you're officially on the clock now. Use the TalkBack feature in the iHeartRadio app. Tell us your top 3 all-time Vikings draft selections. That's your chance to win tickets to the Miller Lite Vikings draft party at U.S. Bank Stadium. You can win tickets every hour today. Full rules at KFAN.com. Keyword contests.
The text that you were alluding to that that could start turbulence, I believe, has come in. We'll save that.
Already,
yeah. It didn't take long at all.
Oh, no.
Bradshaw Bryant KFAN text line.
Can I get in and unstar it so you forget it?
Yeah, it may be too late.
I may try to unstar it.
It's the old thing of I can't unsee it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's part of the problem. By the way, before we go any further,
it's the Bumper to Bumper Seal of Approval.
I'm not sure beyond the world of the National Basketball Association it's going to get as much attention as it should in the more casual sports fan world. But are we back to sort of taking for granted some of the absurd things that a 41-year-old LeBron James is still doing?
Yeah, pretty wild.
On a basketball court? Last night, Lakers go up 2-0 against the Rockets, who did have Kevin Durant last night. Did I read he committed 9 turnovers? Durant?
Is that the number?
9 times. We'll double check it. Meanwhile, LeBron missing, the whole, I guess, story of the Lakers this season was LeBron coming to terms with the fact that now he's the third guy. He's the third wheel. Not the number one guy, not the Scottie Pippen guy, the third wheel on the Los Angeles Lakers. And that for the team to take its best shot when healthy at whatever, that's sort of what he had to come to accept. And it seemed like that he had.
9 turnovers for KD.
So last night he's without Jordan and Pippen. And I use those names advisedly. And he ends up with 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. And I'm here to tell you, some of the passes he orchestrated, some of the no-look looks that he was involved in, spectacular. And I think we do take for granted. In the history of the sport, basketball, name me another player who by the age of 41, we're thinking of nothing but, okay, he was great, and he might have a little moxie left, so you keep him around. But that's it. He can't take over a game. How many guys were still taking over games? How many 41-year-olds have even played in the NBA? That's another issue. Not many. But we shouldn't take that for granted. It is worthy of the seal of approval. And I do think because we've grown accustomed to it in his case that it's almost like, oh, yeah, we already knew that.
Yeah, it's LeBron.
It's LeBron. And then you go, well, wait a minute. What's the birth certificate say? 41 is pretty astonishing. And I'm not here to tell you they're going to win the NBA title this year. They have their limitations even when they're healthy. But he was magnificent last night. And they now find themselves up. And Luka's starting to work out a little bit, isn't he? I don't know how quickly he's going to be back.
That was going to be my question. Are they going to get any of the band back should they advance? Because that was what everybody assumed, right? That they would be knocked out in round 1 and it would be moot.
Correct. That's the whole idea. That's why people wanted to play the Lakers.
Totally. And I think either Denver or the Wolves, I think, would have handled the Lakers with more ease than obviously the Houston Rockets have been here.
Yeah.
Down 2-0 now. And obviously they have to funnel into Oklahoma City, so it might not even matter then anyway because Oklahoma City's who they are. But that, to me, is the interesting follow-up. Are those guys going to be ready at any point? Should they advance? They still have some time.
Well, the speculation I've read indicates a belief that there's a chance both of them might play in the next round. Now, I don't know if it would be at the start of the next round or not. But I lost myself in his eyes last night. I didn't watch the game live, but I did see the highlights. And he just, he understood kind of like, okay, well, I got to be the main guy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, in terms of his ball distribution, he was just wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Like he was in complete control. And he had one baseline fadeaway where the ball was like a high arch, like almost hit the ceiling and was a swish right through the basket.
And because he's always been such a freak athletically. I remember Flip always talking about how no one understands how actually fast he is because he's 6'8" and he can move. People say he's big and he's a bruiser and he's physical, but people don't understand how fast he is up the court.
At like 270.
Exactly. But his basketball IQ is off the charts.
It is.
And my favorite play from last night was the final minute. I don't know if you saw this one where he basically ran the Bummerooski on everybody and put his arms up like, hold it, we're going to run the clock. Marcus Smart's standing there, and then everybody relaxes, bang, backdoor cut, dunk.
Yeah.
There's your ball game.
That's it.
Like, I was aroused by that.
That was
it's
tremendous.
just so smart, and I'm sure it's not the only time that's ever happened ever, but it speaks to your point of a guy who's just in complete control of everything out there. 9
points in the fourth quarter. Like I said, he hit some outside shots, had some two-handed dunks. It's ridiculous. Got to the free throw line 14 times. Always been a free throw merchant. We know LeBron James. Very impressive performance. And by the way, it is worth noting, we'll have more time to get into this later, is the plot thickening for your Minnesota Timberwolves. Wemby.
I know.
Concussion protocol.
I know.
Portland steals game 2. I'm not here to say that means the Spurs are done. But it sure as hell looks different now on the second round. If it's a diminished Wemby or a Wemby that is just coming off concussion or an up-and-coming Portland club that takes Wemby and the Spurs out, and there's your Wolves second-round matchup if they can knock off Denver.
And now
Can't make it up.
because of the ownership issues in Portland that are coming out, I don't know if you've seen that.
I have, yes.
Portland now is like America's team because they're this ragtag bunch of bad news bears. They're the Cleveland Indians in Major League. The owner's not supporting them really in any way, shape, or form, including the head coach. They're trying to get him to take the job for $1 million. Now everybody
Very
wants
Pohlad-like, actually.
It is. They want Portland to win now.
Yeah.
Now they're like rallying around this
players.
This owner. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
True. All right, bottom of the hour break. It is Wexler Wednesday. The official for the better part of 20 to 25 years draft expert of the Bumper to Bumper program, the only one we've ever really relied on a consistent basis. Marty Wexler III is making his once-a-year appearance, and that is coming up next here in the Fan. $27 and 27 minutes from the start of the 2026 National Football League draft. Who better to size it all up, to get a greater appreciation and understanding of not only who might be worthy of selection, but what the process is becoming these days. He's been way ahead of the curve, our next guest, on a number of cases. I've had, in fact, people over the years text regarding one of Marty Wexler III's evaluation tests or techniques. And they've said, well, this is absurd. This guy's making it up as he goes along. And guess what? 3 years later, they're doing it at the Combine.
We're watching it.
Ahead of his time over and over again, Marty Wexler III, kind enough to join us via the Connecticut Water Systems hotline. How's that for an introduction?
It's pretty good, Daniel.
How you been?
I'm getting my steps in while I'm doing this because I'm busy here.
Oh, okay. That's. Are you? Is this a new phase for Marty Wexler III, or is this your way of maintaining?
Doc said you might want to drop a couple, Marty. So
okay.
I'm trying to get a couple steps in here.
Yeah,
so.
that's all right. At least you're not in the bathtub. We've interviewed NFL experts in a bathtub from time to time, so we shouldn't expect any splashing.
Really?
Yeah. Will McDonough, the famous Boston Globe NFL columnist. Remember man. Willie? I'm sure you knew him back in the day.
I did, yeah.
He's a big bubble bath guy, as it turns out.
Well, who doesn't like a bubble bath?
It's relaxing. No question. Man. All right, well, it's good to hear your voice, and I hope this doesn't make it too strenuous for you to talk to us as you are treading it.
If it gets too much, I'll just get off.
All right.
What's the pace and incline?
I'm not that committed to this.
Are you going, what are you? Are you at about a 3.5, 4.0? What's the
incline
speed? Well, incline, too.
Yeah, our incline is 2.
Okay, that's all right.
And the speed is
4?
3 something.
3.5 maybe. 3.3. Yeah, in that range.
Like that.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work for me. By the way,
Yeah.
the draft guide, forgive me because I sometimes I miss stuff, but it looks to me, obviously we always appreciate the fact that you send it to us ahead of time, and it looked to me like the rating system was a little different. It almost felt like you're in a less is more phase regarding the rating system. Are you not measuring as much as you used to?
No, Dan, we still do all that measurement, but we found that a lot of the statistics that we're providing to the teams, they're getting confused. And the feedback we were getting was like, you're overwhelming us.
Yeah.
What are the most important things? And so what we did is we did a, trying to think what you call it, some math thing where you determine which ones were the most important. And that's why there's like one number there.
Okay.
Like it's next to a guy. So that's a lot of work.
Are you talking about the work on the treadmill or the work on your guide?
I'm getting off this thing. This is not good.
All right. Well, yeah,
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, no. Well, your secret is safe with us for sure. You can always pop back on it later, but maybe for the purposes of this discussion, might be better.
Yeah, don't tell my wife.
Yeah, no. We'll keep that away. All right.
Not my idea.
So, you've talked to us over the years a lot about so-called localized tests, the idea of testing how players will perform on the East Coast, how they might perform differently on the West Coast. Are you doing any more of that kind of research and testing now?
Actually, guys, there's one way we've kind of actually complicated a little bit. We decided that it'd be more important for us. Because, we work with 8 different teams.
Yeah.
1 team in each division. And we've done testing. We've now moved a portion of our testing into the market that we work with.
I see.
To find out, is someone a better player here than there? We compare them. We don't give them specifics about the other markets, but we say, this guy's a plus player for your market. He performs better, say, in Minnesota than he would, like, in Miami.
All right, that makes, I think that makes, any startling results there? Anything that caught your eye?
Well, first of all, you can't do it with every player because
right.
It's too much, just too many people to move around. So we kind of limit it. We have the team tell us 200 players that they want to have come in and do that testing. And, some guys some guys probably did all 8 tests. But there's different needs for different teams, and guys definitely do perform different. I think that's one of the things that we've come to realize. That's why the combine is pointless. Who cares how they play in Indianapolis unless you're in Indianapolis?
Central time zone.
Yeah. Well, no.
Actually, that's East. That's Indianapolis. I think is actually East Coast or Eastern time.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Well, I know it's a big flat piece of land in the middle of the country, and it's not like being in Denver or being in Miami or Seattle or even Minnesota. So,
that's true.
So
if it was up to you, you'd move the combine.
I'd cancel the combine. It's kind of a joke at this point.
You think it's a waste of time?
I said cancel it a long time ago.
It's a TV event now. Is that the deal? It's just become a TV event?
That's the problem with football, Dan. The whole thing's become a TV event.
Yeah, that's a great point.
No, who cares? It's like the whole business of these cities wanting to have the draft. That's just so dumb.
It is, isn't it?
It was best. It was just everybody sat in a room in New York.
Yes.
Pete Rozelle looked over and said, "Hey, who do you want?"
Smoke-filled room. Well, bring back the smoke-filled room days.
Yeah, well, that's not the way the NFL works, Dan.
No, you're right about that.
I don't mind because we've made a lot of money over the years.
You got that going for you. Are you still? There have been some controversial moments regarding your use of animals in some of your testing. I'm assuming that you're still doing some of that, but this particular, I'm confused. What is a spectacled bear, and how does that enter into all this discussion?
Okay, a spectacled bear is a South American bear. It's not a big, large grizzly bear or a polar bear or anything that large, but it's also nice. We used to use sun bears, but those were a little too small.
Yeah.
Your spectacled bear, they'll get up to 350, 400 pounds. And one of the things that we were doing is we were trying to find a drill that would simulate being double teamed. And so we have two of the most awesome spectacled bears. We've had them since they were cubs. And
you've raised them.
If you can get past those two guys, the two bears, well, one of them's a girl bear.
Right.
I don't know what you call those. But if you can get past them, we want to know how quick you can do that. And it's great because the bears love it. I mean, it's like, this is the highlight of their years when they get to go to the testing, and they look at it as fun. So people say, oh, you're being so cruel. It's like, no, bears love it, man.
Bears look forward to it. Yeah, that's what you're saying. And there's
no female bear is a sow.
I didn't know that.
S-O-W. I didn't either.
All right.
Is there any danger to the players? I mean, are the bears friendly?
No, those bears, they grew up on this stuff. They think it's fun.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you punch the bear in the face or something like that, then the bear probably be a little pissed off.
Yeah, I would do it, yeah.
No, they think we're playing. That's what that, and you don't use, like, for example, we're not going to run quarterbacks in that drill. You're going to run generally your defensive linemen, maybe the outside edge rushers, those kind of guys.
And this is about speed or elusiveness or both or what?
Well, you got to be tough to get past two bears, Dan.
Yeah, toughness.
And the bears work together really well.
They work as a tandem?
The guy doesn't get what's that?
They work as a team
out there because you get double teamed in the National Football League.
Great point. Why wouldn't you? That's genius. When did you come up with that one? Is that new this year? I think it is. I don't remember.
No, we started it last year because the bears were finally old enough to do it. I mean, you got to train the bears. You can't. The bears.
Yeah, right.
This is not natural for a bear.
No.
Usually, a bear, all they really want to do is go dig up some bugs or a lizard or something like that. But these bears love to wrestle.
Well, do you have to run?
Bears.
Do you have to run interference? Like, I mean, do you get animal groups that hear about this stuff? Yeah, and how do you handle that stuff?
I tell them to pound sand. I don't have time for all that in the world. It's like, look, Dan, people are going to complain about everything. I've learned that it doesn't matter what it is, and they all try to turn it into politics. This has got nothing to do with politics. It's just, can you get past two bears? And so I have a good idea. Sit down, shut up. I don't go to your house to tell you, how to deal with your animals.
What is the Parenti monitor test? Is that some sort of lizard? Or speaking of animals, what's that about?
Yeah, it's a monitor lizard. They're from Western Australia. The good sized lizard. They can be about 7 feet long. And the key
7 feet.
We use that for tackling practice purposes. First of all, this animal can just change. You think Jameer Gibbs can change in a dime?
Change directions?
You haven't seen anything until you've seen a Parenti lizard.
Man.
It is and now this is a little more dangerous. This one we have to kind of clamp the animal's mouth shut, make sure that the claws are not real sharp, because that's a little dangerous. But it's. I'll tell you right now, if you can catch that lizard, you can catch a running back. You can shadow a wide receiver. It turned out it's eye opening. The kid. What's that LSU kid? Delane.
Yeah.
The cornerback. I tell you what, if I ever had a lizard that was loose, I would have that kid go do it because he was doing record times in this.
So it's about measuring quickness, explosiveness, and courage, I would say, too, messing with a lizard.
Yeah,
I mean,
some of that, but we tell them you're not going to get hurt. I mean, you're not. It's also, you got to hold on. Lizards are slippery.
Yeah, they are. That's a great point. And that also is a good foundation for what they might be able to do in the National Football League. Did you have any near, misses there? I mean, is there any? I mean, you mentioned the claws got to make sure they're not too sharp.
Oh, what we always do, Dan, just so you know, is we don't test these on athletes right away. We have a group of volunteers. Well, they're paid. That test a lot of these drills out before we do them.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned is you have to be a kind of a free thinker to do this stuff, Dan. You have to be able to, ask yourself, is this a good idea? Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had lots of bad ideas, but we don't test athletes on those.
No, this one's intriguing to me though. I never even heard of this kind of a lizard. How do you
Look
locate
it up.
these?
It's a lizard from Western Australia.
7 feet,
and you can find them all over the place.
Man.
You can get them.
You can get them.
Yeah, I think there's some rules about bringing them in.
Do you have to train them too? How do you train a lizard?
No, we don't train these things. First of all, they're lizards. They're stupid animals.
Yeah.
You can't train them. You just, they have plenty of incentive to try to get away.
Anybody get scratched up? Like you mentioned, the individuals that you...
Not athletes, no.
No athletes, just perhaps a couple of volunteers.
Wonder if Two Dogs knows about these lizards.
That's a good idea.
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah. That's an inside joke here you wouldn't know anything about, Marty. Marty Wexler III, kind enough to join us on Wexler Wednesday. What is the financial emergency test? Is that new?
Okay, so, one of the things that we used to do that run off the side of the building test, run through a brick wall.
One of my favorites, yep.
Just to see if they would do it, to see what there's. A lot of kids these days, because of NIL and because of the college football system, are extremely motivated by money. So what we do is we work it out with their financial advisor to, in the middle of the interview process, to text saying, "Hey, we have a serious problem. We've lost all of your money." And to try to get some sort of reaction, this all of a sudden are they taking it more seriously? Does it even matter to them?
Yeah.
Are they shattered by this information? How do they deal with it? And then you kind of determine how much is this kid just in it for the money. And there's plenty of kids who are just in it for the money. But I think people are getting smarter to these things, because a couple of them, look like, no, you're lying to me. Of course you were.
Yeah. Can it be a little cruel at times? Those who believe you, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, that can't be a fun process when you tell them, well, it's all part of the test.
Football's tough, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to find out how's this kid psychologically. Is this kid psychologically strong? Or is he kind of weak? And teams want to know these things.
By the way, a texter is curious to know whether any of the players over the years have refused some of the animal-related tests. And then what do you do then?
Hadn't thought of it. I'm sorry, I got distracted. What was the question?
The question, you okay? I'm worried about you. Are you off the treadmill?
My son came in and he just dropped a folder in front of me, and it's like, I wish he wouldn't do that.
Oh.
So.
A folder? Okay. All right, no, what I was asking about is the animal tests can be kind of controversial over the years. You had the Doberman drill for a while.
Okay, yeah.
So what happens to the players? The assumption is, from the texter, is some players refuse. What happens if they refuse?
No, the kids don't refuse, Dan.
They don't.
I mean, who's going to refuse? No, but this is your future. I mean, unless you're just so good. If let's say you're Francisco, what's the kid's name? Montoya?
Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Yeah,
Mendoza.
That guy, that Indiana guy.
Indiana QB.
He doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Right.
But you know what? There's only a few people who can't, who have that luxury. And, it's a cruel business, the National Football League, Dan.
Yeah.
So you better darn well, to me, that'd be a giant red flag. If someone didn't want to do a drill
with the Bears,
someone wanted to opt out, that'd be a huge red flag.
Yeah.
What are you trying to hide?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it all goes back to how bad you want it.
By the way, we don't do Doberman drill anymore.
You do not.
Dobermans were not dependable enough. Rottweilers.
Rottweilers? Aren't they even more vicious?
No. Again, these are trained animals, Dan.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Well, the alliteration's not as good, but I can understand why you made the change. Tell me about what's the wrong playbook test for? I believe this is for largely offensive skill position candidates and players. What's this all about?
Players are pretty smart, and their agents are pretty smart. So they go in to talk to teams, and the team says, "Hey, knowing what you know about our playbook, what do you call in this situation? What do you say in this situation? Or you see this formation?" And the kids, they get pretty smart, and they start, coming up with the answers. Well, that's great. I'm glad you did, but I'd rather know when someone hits you something that you don't expect. So we tell them, boy, that was the old playbook that you studied there. You don't really know what's going on here. Why? And it starts to throw the kid off. So then we can see, hey,
how you handle it.
He's smart enough to be able to see, blitz coverage,
right,
or that sort of thing. You can kind of see it on the run instead of being all studied up.
I guess that makes some sense. That it could be, again, if the whole object of this is evaluating, right, and that's the whole point of it, that I could see could be helpful as well, for sure. What is the conflict resolution test?
What happens in that situation, just to see how people deal with conflict, is a couple of the people who are administering the test will get into an argument that kind of escalates, and to a point where someone's thinking about starting to throw fists, and we want to see how that kid reacts. Is he a leader? Does he calm people down?
I like
sit
this.
Back and watch? Does he jump in on one side or the other? We've had a lot of different kinds of reactions there. I think the one thing you don't want to do is do nothing. That's how you fail that test.
That's genius.
Too timid.
That makes, see how they respond and then evaluate. Like you said, this kid's got some leadership to him. This kid might be a little bit afraid, whatever. And by the way, could still maybe be a good player, but you say, but just don't count necessarily on the leadership part of how much do the individuals, the testers, have to sell it? I mean, how tough and violent might it get?
Well, these are actually, we have found in the years, best people to do are ex-professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because that stuff looks so real.
It's natural to them.
And if you get it, and you get hit with a chair in wrestling, and it doesn't appear to hurt them that much. So it's again, you have to sell it. I mean, you have occasionally an accident will happen where somebody will get hit in the eye or something.
A texter, this is from 651 guy, wants to know if you've ever considered secretly dosing the participants with LSD and then testing their mental fortitude that way.
That's illegal, Dan. Now, if you asked if we consider it, yeah, we've considered it. It's illegal, Dan. Can't do it.
Once upon a time, they did it. Sometimes the government did it back in the day.
Not saying we did it or didn't do it, Dan, but I don't know what statute of limitations is, so I'm not going to say.
Do teams ask you to ask questions of players that you test?
Yeah, all the time. It's because the teams will ask, kind of basic, stupid questions, like would you rather be a dog or a cat?
Not helpful?
It's like, well, so what? I mean, what does that mean? If you're playing for Carolina, does that mean you'd rather be a cat? I don't know. I can't figure what the point of that question is. But, I can remember one time we asked, because the team wanted to know when they didn't want to ask, would you rather kill a guy with a gun or a knife?
Jeez.
And that was interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what do you?
I don't know what purpose it served, but we recorded the answer and passed it along to the team.
They wanted it asked.
They wanted it asked.
Man,
that coach is not coaching. I'll just tell you that coach
I hope
is
not. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That seems a bit grandiose, I would say, for sure. Marty Wexler III, the official Bumper to Bumper draft guide, kind enough to join us. Maybe get to a couple of other texts here via the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line at 64686. The expression, we've all grown up with it, right? When it pertains to, obviously, defensive players. He's got a nose for the ball. What does that
That's a new test this year. It's great.
And it's a test.
It's true. I mean, yeah, what we do is, and it's generally defensive players, is we blindfold the guy and we put him in like a 10 by 10 room, and the ball is there. We don't tell him where it is. how quick can they find it? And some people we've learned is they actually have a nose for the ball.
They can smell the ball.
You can do it. You can do this. You can do this multiple times. They will always perform better than some other players. Some players do have a nose for the ball, so they can. That's why certain players recover more fumbles than other players do.
So they sniff it out. They literally sniff the ball. They can smell the ball itself.
I can't say that's the reason why. Maybe they have ESP or something.
Yeah,
right. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But they're clearly, and if you do these tests often enough, you can see there's an absolute correlation. Some people are better at this than others are. And, of course, you'd rather know that.
The safety from Oregon, do you know that's who the Vikings might take at 18 if he's there? Do we know anything about him and his nose for the ball?
Yeah, Thieneman.
Yeah, however you pronounce it.
He's got a great nose for the ball. Great nose for the ball.
So does the football itself have a smell, or do you add a smell to it to make it a little bit easier so that to get an idea?
No, we do not enhance the smell.
You do not enhance whatever the smell of the ball is. There's no enhancements going on.
And I'm going to guess that I have no idea what. We don't do anything special.
Well, it smells like leather, doesn't it? Or isn't the ball leather?
Pigskin.
Yeah, sure it does.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I could see where sometimes
people. You don't worry about this stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't ask questions like why.
No, that's a great point.
We've learned if you start asking questions like why, that really bogs you down.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be a clear thinker. You have to be able to think outside the box, be willing to try different things. Because the question always is, why do some guys recover fumbles more than other people do? Well, it's because they have a nose for the ball.
There it is. Is there really such a thing as a knee injury predictor? I mean, that sounds shaky. How is that possible?
Okay, so what you have to do is this is a kind of a mathematical extrapolation where you have to go back in to the history, say the last 10 years of knee injuries in the National Football League, who's gotten them and what kind of knee injury it is. And then what you do is you run an analysis based on all the statistics that guy did when we tested him. And we've been testing him now, as you know, Dan, for 20 plus years. Yep. And you can kind of go, well, these 6 statistics kind of are all common in guys who hurt their knee. And I'm not saying that that's the reason why or that this is what it is. And sometimes, obviously, that you get hit in the knee, hurts your knee. But there are 6 common statistics that you can put together and say this guy has a greater chance to have a knee injury.
Is this, and that's new this year, isn't it?
Yeah, this year that's a brand new statistic.
Man. You're always one step ahead, man. It's amazing.
Would how would Darrisaw have done on those?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
We're kind of we would assume not very well. But,
well, at this point, we know he's hurt his knee.
Yeah. That's the sad part. Now it's a matter of whether he can recover 100%. As you know, this is at least certainly the week leading up to the draft, but in some cases, weeks and weeks even before that, mock draft after mock draft after mock draft. It's endless. Some people do like 25 different mock drafts just because they need to keep, offering up content, I guess, online. I don't know how many they do at ESPN. What's the official Marty Wexler III position on all these mock drafts?
It doesn't matter a whole hell of a lot. We people ask me, hey, why don't you do a mock draft for us? And I'm like, well, I could, but I know all the statistics, and to be honest, that wouldn't be right to the 8 teams we're working with. And we can make predictions, but we're not going to try to. It's a fool's game, Dan. It's like, how the hell do you know what that team wants? You're not there. To be honest, half the teams right now, the draft's tomorrow, they don't know who they want. They go in, they don't know who's going to be available. So they got this list of guys, and that's why about half the teams make stupid draft choices because they get panicked. I mean, I don't want to say and remind you that we have not been working with the Minnesota Vikings over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But we have not.
We've noticed.
But
is the Bears the team in the division?
No, things change. Okay. I'm not at liberty to say that we're working with the Vikings.
All right, that's fair. I'll accept that. Well, does that explain a lot? I mean, they just fired their general manager. Their draft record speaks for itself. It's been horrendous the last several years.
I will just say this. I've known Rob Brzezinski for, 15, 20 years.
Interesting.
All right. We'll take that under advisement. Any truth to the rumor that, you're thinking of maybe hanging this thing up pretty soon?
It's not a rumor, Dan. I am very likely hanging it up after this year.
What?
It's a young man's game, Dan.
Is it?
I've been doing this for a long time. Dan, I was old when I started working with you. I mean, I don't think it's possible I'll do it again one more year. But my kid is like, get out of the way, Dad. And my daughter, who's probably smarter than he is, and they both want to kind of have it as their business. And it's like, they're not 20 years old anymore.
Are they trying to push you out?
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to push me out. I'm kind of thinking it might be worth going.
Yeah.
I have to waste so much time during the year, and we get to travel to some nice cities.
Yeah.
I'd like to, hell, I gotta work on the stupid treadmill now. Maybe if I was, more active, wouldn't have to.
You'll work up to it. You'll have plenty of time to do it. Well, we hope it's not true, but I mean, again, you got to do what you got to do. Your legacy is secure, regardless. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I own the rights to the company.
Yeah.
So I'm not that worried about it.
So yeah, you're not gonna. You don't need to work at this point. It's fair to say, correct?
Right.
Yeah. That's the beauty.
Yeah,
of it,
I think people like when I work because I have great relationships with these teams.
Well, we look forward to.
Kids don't necessarily have that kind of relationship.
No, that doesn't surprise me either, because that takes
time and trust.
Yeah, I mean that takes. You got to build that up, man. That doesn't come in 15 minutes. Well, I hope this isn't it. I'm going to start getting emotional here pretty soon. I don't want to think of the possibility that a year from now, when Guardsy reaches out to you, we're going to say, "Yeah, it's done. I'm kind of moving on." I would not look forward to that day. So
is this like the bad news test? Are you putting us sitting through one of your drills right now to see how we respond and react? That's what this feels like.
This is not a drill. I can't for sure, Dan.
Well, you got time.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you got time to figure it out, and I
got a big client dinner tonight. I like those.
Yeah.
We're going to Altius here in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So they got this lobster risotto. It's a cacio e pepe risotto.
Outstanding.
Kind of risotto.
I love risotto.
I love
it.
That's interesting. Well, the thing is, here's what I worry about. I can see why you might say enough, but then I worry about what the hell are you going to do? I mean, I don't think you're a sitting around kind of a guy, are you?
No, I'm not really a sitting around kind of guy. There's other things I can do, and I might, for a long time, the TV networks have been wanting me to come and do a little work with them.
Interesting.
But there's a lot of guys in the TV I don't like very much, so I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, well, keep your options open is what I would say. It's always a pleasure to have you on. We always learn so much more each and every year. We appreciate you, and hopefully...
Well, Dan, I do this for nobody else but you, because you've been around since the very beginning on this, so I'm glad to do it.
Well, we appreciate that, my friend.
I got to get back on the treadmill.
Get back on the treadmill.
I hear all about it.
And maybe put a little bit more get a little more uphill climb too. So you add a little bit more incline. Don't overdo it. You got to gradually work up.
I'm
to
pretty
that.
good at 2. 2 is fine.
Okay, all right. That'll work.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Marty Wexler III, an American original.